Welcome to our solution session about case management and collaboration. I'm happy to see that quite a lot of people came and seem to be interested in this topic. So welcome, and I'm looking forward to give you some insight to our solution that we have created recently. My name is Fabian Fritz. I'm way back I was a Java developer, then moved on to project management, now doing consulting project management for the company Westernacher Products and Services. We've been an Alfresco partner for quite some years now, and have a large Alfresco team which helps our customers to realize, to implement their solutions, their Alfresco environments. We also offer some products. You might know the email integration, for example, that is now being sold by Alfresco itself. So I will dive right into the topic by giving you some insight what our customers have been asking us. Most of them, or a lot of them, already using Alfresco and knowing Alfresco. They asked us how can we use Alfresco to store our documents in a more structured way. So in most cases they were talking about cases, about records and documents that are related to those cases. So their requirement is to store well-structured, store documents in well-defined structures. Also to do some lifecycle management for those cases or records. And very often mailroom processes such as scanning and redirecting documents, incoming paper documents, to the right department and so on. So may I ask, who of you is from Germany? Just my colleagues raise their hands. Okay, so that means most of you might not be familiar with those sublines, subtitles that I have placed to those this slide and the next two slides. Those are aspects that come from some German concept that has been designed by government for proper storing of records and their documents. So those are modules which I relate to, but as nobody is coming from Germany, this doesn't mean anything for you. Okay. We have talked about case management. This is a rough definition of what we understand when we talk about case management. Storing documents in a structured way, and this structure is of course depending on on the requirements of our customers, which vary a lot. One more requirement that they are regularly asking for is how can we support our users who are using those or dealing with those cases and documents. How can we make their daily work life more efficient? How can we assist them to do their business processes? Well, this is nothing surprising if you are working with Alfresco and using workflows. We are asked, even if we're not talking about case management, we are often asked by customers to implement their business workflows in Alfresco. But very often related to case management, to cases, there are formal processes, compliance rules that require formal workflows that the users should stick to. And well, the third aspect is of course something that you all know. I'm sure I don't have to explain what collaboration with Alfresco means. Most of you will know that. But the surprising thing is that our customers are explicitly asking us to use a modern document management system such as Alfresco for their collaboration, but at the same time they want a well-structured placement of the documents into cases and records, and they want the workflows. So this is where case management meets collaboration. We have done that. The solution that I'm going to show you, which is going to be the larger part of this session, is something that we have created for multiple customers. It's in different stages of deployment there. The largest customer that is currently using the case management solution that I'm showing you is Bundesnotarkammer, which is representing all German notaries. And they have recently set up an own certificate authority, a CA. They are distributing signature cards. And as you can imagine, this requires certain very formal storage of documents which are related to those signature cards. So they are already using it for this CA. And we are in preparation to roll out the solution to their certain business departments and also to other business applications which would like to store their documents into Alfresco, but not in an informal way, but in a more formal way. Also, we have a district office in Germany that is currently testing the solution on theirs, on-site, on-premise, and is preparing the rollout. Recently, we have seen an increasing demand for such a combination of case management and collaboration. We have had some very interesting leads recently coming from different industry sectors. For example, the week before, we have been doing a demonstration with a large German health insurance company. They are thinking about introducing this solution as their compliance management tool. That means they are going to track compliance breaches with the case management solution. So before going into a demonstration of the solution, I'm going to give you a very short overview of the architecture, so you have an idea how does it integrate with Alfresco. So this architecture figure might look familiar to some of you. It's not. It's the general architecture of Alfresco. I hope that even in the back of the room you can see the full slide. Is that okay? Good. So what we are doing is we are hooking into the repository part and the share part. That means we are creating add-ons and customizing the UI and the backend logic to make this work. This makes it pretty easy to deploy and distribute to customers. To be able to provide this solution, to deliver this solution to multiple customers, as we are doing it with 2 customers now, and we are in discussion with multiple other customers for the future, we have created inside the case management solution, there is the architecture that we have a core module which provides all the basic functionality that is common between all the customers. Also, there's some basic data modeling, and it provides certain extension points that are used by the customization layer that we do for every customer. That means we try to minimize the portion, the fraction that we have to customize for each individual deployment or customer. So we only have to do some, to introduce a case, custom metadata modeling. We also can apply custom workflows, custom logic, and also, of course, some theming if they want to use their corporate identity theme in Share. Do you have questions up to this point? Because next I'm going to jump into the demonstration.
Is this a bolt-on on top of Alfresco?
Pardon?
Is this a bolt-on on top of Alfresco platform?
Yes, yes. Okay, let's have a look at the live demonstration. We are looking at a sample customer here who is running a complaint management department. So that means whenever any complaint comes in, they create a case and follow up in a certain procedure. In this concrete case for the demonstration, we are looking at the accusation that one employee is selling addresses of the customers of this company and making money from it. So we are looking at a data privacy breach. The case has been running for a few days already, and we are going to check what has been done so far. We are going to look at the activities that occurred up to this point. Then we are going to proceed in the process and also file a new document. And I hope this will give you an overview what this solution can do. Good. Is the font size large enough? Can you read everything? Especially in the back? Oh, you have a second screen there. Yeah, that's perfect. Didn't notice that. Great. So we are looking at Alfresco Share, which you are probably all familiar with. So I'm just going to look at those points, at those changes that we did as part of the customization. We are using sites as storage rooms for departments or alike. And whenever you create a site, you can choose whether this site is going to be a record management site, a case management site. So that means you can have multiple case management storages in one system. I've prepared one compliant management site here, and I have already created a certain structure for the documents. And inside a site, we can have several sections, departments running their own storage of cases. So as you might notice, there is a slightly different folder icon here. That means underneath this folder, I can start and create what we call records, and this will allow you to manage your cases. So inside the 2014 folder, I have already created the case for our demonstration. Our employee, Christian Doe, is accused to have sold some addresses. So first we're going to look at the record. A record is a folder. And then it's not a regular Alfresco folder, but it's a qualified folder that has been marked to be a record, that has certain metadata, so that it has certain properties that qualify it as a record and give us more information about the context of this record. As you might notice, I just jumped into the details page for this record. You might notice it's quite different from what you usually know from Alfresco Share details pages. We have changed the layout and the design to make it more user-friendly, to make it more efficient when handling records or cases. So, first part that I would like to show you is that we have assigned certain metadata, certain fields to this record, and we have a person in charge. We have some other editors who are involved. We have a status that can change, a status flag. We can also track actions, activities that have been taken on this record, and they are listed here. We have we provide certain actions which are relevant for managing that type of record. The selection, the set of metadata fields that is available at this point is not fixed. It's not implemented into the system. Well, it's not. It's a configurable set of metadata fields. That means depending on the type of the record, we have when creating a new record, we are asked to provide a type, and depending on the type of the record, the set of metadata fields will be chosen. We will see that when we create one later. So our first task was to get an overview what happened with this record and its contents. And there is some action stream, some activity stream that is available. And we can see that the case has been opened a few days ago. Then the investigation has been started. Some interviews with the supervisor of the employee has been taken place. The employee himself has been questioned. So we can check what happened so far. Also, of course, this is a business view to the activity that happened. Of course, we also have some record history, which is more like an audit log that shows all the changes on a more technical level. That means it shows when a workflow has been started, when a field has been changed, and so on. Good. Jumping back to the record. Now let's have a look at the contents of the record. When going into the folder, I see that we already have one subfolder, which has a certain icon too. And we have a document that has been filed to this record. So the folder with this paperclip icon is something that we call an activity folder. That is, in case management, it could also be the case. That depends on how the customers use the system. What we can design here is, or provide is a 2 or a 3 level record structure. That means that can be the record itself underneath documents directly, or a record inside those activity folders and then the documents. Both is available. So the activity folder is also, once again, a qualified folder that has metadata of its own. It can inherit metadata from above and so on. So first we will have a look at the at one document that is filed into that record. The details page has is pretty much the same as for the record itself. Of course, for a document we can provide a nice preview of the document and the document-related functions. Good. So let me quickly jump back to the record. You might have noticed on the, wait a second, on the bottom right corner, there is a next due task is mentioned. This is a workflow task that has been assigned by some colleague to my account, to me, and it's the reminder that we have done all investigations in this complaint case, and now we would like to move to the next step. We can come to a conclusion. We can take some consequences. Maybe in this case the acquisition was correct, and we need to notify the HR department that this colleague, well, will either be fired or you can imagine that, whatever. So I have designed an example process here that every complaint case that this department handles has two major steps. One is investigation and the next one is consequences. So, and my colleague has notified me that the investigation step is done and we now want to move on to the next step, to the consequences step. And this is what we are going to do. Let's imagine that we want to represent those process steps, investigation and consequences. Inside the case record, we represent them by those activity folders. We create a new activity here that is dealing with the consequences. And then we can collect all the documents that are related to the consequences phase in that activity folder. In this, what I did is I clicked on this action new activity, and now I'm presented with a dialog and I'm asked whether I want to, which kind of activity I would like to create. Depending on the choice that I make, the metadata fields for this new activity will be determined. In that case, I will go for the consequences type that I've configured. And next, I'm asked to provide some information for this new activity. So, of course, I will call it consequences. I can provide some description. Then we see the metadata fields that we have seen in a read mode, in a view mode before. Now they are presented in an edit mode. And as you can see, most of the values are already pre-filled. This happens because the system supports inheritance between the record, the activity, and documents. That means most of the fields can be pre-filled by looking at the parent and taking the values from there. In this case, all information is already available, so I could just click on save and I'm done. Well, let's say I don't want all the team members to participate in that next step, but just a few. So I will remove one person, and then I will go ahead and save this new activity. Okay, oops, sorry. Okay, well, you already know that screen. It's very similar to what we have seen on the record level or for the document. Looking at the record, we now have two activities in the document on the top level, and moving into consequences folder, well, of course, this folder is empty, and I'm going to upload a new document here. Well, let's just take some sample document. In the first step, this document is just placed into the folder. It's not yet properly filed to the record. This is something that could be done automatically if it's necessary, if this is a requirement. For that system that I'm showing here, the customer has chosen that this should not be done automatically. So that means I choose the file to record action and actually apply case relevant metadata to this document. Oops, yeah. I'm again asked to choose which kind of record document this is. In this case, we have just two available for this kind of cases, and as you can see, there is already something about emails. We can also attach or use and integrate the Outlook or Lotus Notes integration so that users are easily able to file their emails to some records. So that means in case that this complaint case, something was discussed via email, the user could just do a drag and drop into the record, and then it would be filed to record completely automatically. But in that case, I'm going for the complaint document, choosing next. And well, once again, almost all fields are already pre-filled, and they are inherited, the values are inherited from above. Of course, if I change something on the higher level, on the parent level, the inheritance can also update children. That means changing the responsible person, the person in charge on the record level, will also change it underneath in all activities and documents, unless I have changed the child element to a different value. Then we're not overriding, of course. That would make no sense. Okay, let's save this. Well, the document is available. Properties have been applied. Of course, we can search for those metadata fields very easily. I could show you, give you a short overview of some nice search feature that we have integrated into this solution too. Do you have questions so far? Yes?
How does the UI scale? So it's okay, so you've just got one text now, you've got 400 or 500 texts. What's the UI look like? So that's the way.
Okay. Do you mean in the document library mode? Yeah.
If you open up that case in 214, you've got how?
Yeah, that's true. It scales in the same way as Share always does for a lot of items which are inside in the same folder. It will use paging to show all those items. Yes?
Are you able to have complete control over the naming and creation of folders so that they are totally in conformance with the way your application works?
We have not implemented it for this customer, but we of course can, and we have a certain request from another customer already. They want some automatic suggestion for naming that goes along with the convention of naming. Of course, this could be done. What we have done is, I've not shown that explicitly. You see the record identifier, that is a number that is generated based on a certain logic that we elaborate with the customer, and it's generated completely automatically. And that could be done for the folder naming too.
How much user configuration is it?
Sorry?
How much configuration can be done based on the user needs? Are there any limitations?
The configuration of the application.
Case management tool.
Mm-hmm.
How much of the configuration can be done based on the user requirement? Is it highly configurable?
Fully, actually, it's fully configurable. We are looking at a solution that means we have a very good base. This core module that I mentioned is available, and we can exchange almost everything in this core module and replace it by some custom code. So that, of course, those high customizations would be done in code. Should be done by a developer, but we also have a certain set of configuration features that are available for the administrator or the case management administrator, not the system administrator, but a case management administrator, and I'm going to show that right next. Okay. There was another question. Yes? Could you? I couldn't understand that. Just.
Within this document library, could you have top-level folders that are not records?
Yes, yes, of course.
Could you mix regular content with records within the same document library?
Yes, you can have multiple levels above and underneath.
Yeah, but they don't all have to be records.
No, no, no. In this case, I have marked the top-level folders cases 2013 and 2014 as storage for records. But I could have a certain folder, regular folder structure above, and then mark a folder to contain records. Yeah. This is, of course, used very often if you want to store a lot of records. Then you will have some decent structure above, of course. Good. So let me check the time. Okay. I will give you a quick view about the configuration, because that has been asked several times now. So when creating the activity and the document, I was asked to provide the type. And I have chosen one of those two types which are configured to be present in the system. And as an administrator of this case management solution, this doesn't have to be, this can be the system administrator, but it can also be someone else. I can configure, let's jump to the important section first. I can configure what kind of fields, which set of fields is present in this type, for this record type. And as you can see, we have, for this customer, we have created a lot of fields. The left list is the list of available fields, and on the right side, you see the list of fields that are currently configured for this type. So I can just, can easily choose a certain field, add it to the list on the right side, and then it becomes available. And then I can also decide whether this field's values are included in inheritance or not. For certain fields, it doesn't really make sense to inherit the values to children. But for many fields, it makes sense. Okay. So, okay, I got about 5 minutes left. Let's see. Let's do a quick, we'll cancel that. And I promised to give you a short glimpse at the searching. I just added, what did I add? Some document called Lore Ipsum, I think. We have a search feature implemented that provides auto-completion based on the values that are, the metadata values that are present in the system, and also full-text search, of course. And it allows the user to search by multiple values, concatenate searches with and or combinations, do faceted searches. For example, you see now the total result is 6 items, and just looking at the record management documents means clicking here and reducing the result set. I can also, let's see, maybe no, well, just, yeah, it will take too long to go into depth here. So let me quickly jump back to the presentation, unless you have a question. Yes?
The activity types editor that we had there, forgive me, I'm not familiar with the later versions of Alfresco. Is that a standard feature with Alfresco?
No.
It's yours.
The activity, yes. This one, the types, defining the types, no, it's not. That's part of the solution. That is our extension. Yeah.
So what happens with Alfresco upgrades? We have your extensions.
they of course have to be upgraded too.
Is a separate upgrade cost in addition to the Alfresco?
Yep. Well, depending on the kind of upgrade, Alfresco upgrade, this is maybe just testing if everything works or adjusting some code. We try to use official Alfresco extension points only in, let's say, 98% of the times. That's fine. In rare cases, we have to, well, do some patching, and then it's well documented, and when an upgrade is done, we can just look up and check whether we have to change something. Also, by pushing as much of the code into this core module, we try to limit or to minimize the effort that we have to do for each customer. So the effort is shared by all the customers by just adjusting the core and then upgrading. Okay, only 2 minutes left, so I will jump back here. Well, there are quite a number of other features, and I just picked 4 here that I was not able to show. We have this mailbox processing. That means we have attached a scan solution such as Kofax or Ifisoft, and there's a mailbox process that allows you to distribute incoming incoming paper mails that were scanned, distribute them to the correct department. Of course, you can integrate it with Outlook or Lotus Notes. The powerful search, I could go into depth there, and we have also some meeting management solution that can be used in combination with the case management.
Like email integration.
Mm-hmm.
What is an added feature provided by case management over and above the normal Alfresco email integration?
You can drag and drop an email into a case or into a record on an activity folder, and it will automatically be converted into a record management document. That means it will automatically get all required metadata, and you don't have to do the manual steps of filing it into the record.
Which mail client is supported?
Outlook and Lotus Notes. Those are 2 products that are available for Alfresco.
And the meeting management, sorry for making it a
Yeah, no.
The meeting management, where is the meeting repository? Is it in Outlook or is it in Alfresco?
Well, the meeting management is, maybe we can have a chat about that a bit afterwards. Just as a short overview, it helps you, the organizer of a meeting, to collect all the topics for the meeting, to generate the agenda for the meeting, and then it can also distribute the agenda items, the documents, to the relevant people. It's more about the document part of the meeting, not about finding the right date. No. We assume that you already have that. So, did we achieve what we wanted to do? That means combine collaboration with case management. We think, yes, we have. We have one customer that is already productively using it. We have a second one testing it, and the feedback is good at this point. And the customer who's using that for this certificate authority has already created 13,000 records with more than 70,000 documents. And this number is 2 weeks old. It keeps growing every week by quite a big number. Of course, this is not done by having some person doing those manual steps that I showed you in the UI. What we did there is they have application processes in the certificate authority application. And whenever somebody applies for a new signature card for qualified signatures, a record is created automatically. We have some API that is available for other applications to use the case management solution as storage. So we are pretty fine, or pretty content that we achieved the goal to have a case management solution that still allows the user to use collaboration in a flexible way. So I made it almost in time. Thanks for your attention. When I hear your questions, I see you're already thinking about how to use that. We are available with a booth downstairs. Feel free to come by. We can give you a more extended demonstration and have a look at your use cases. And of course, feel free to contact me after the event if you like and have any further questions. Thanks a lot.